What's up, everybody? It is the return of the Salty Chip Show. Damian Salty G. No Chip kayfabe, unfortunately, but I am rolling solo. Find me on Twitter at DamianG347 and the show at Salty Chips Show on Twitter. You can find us everywhere, essentially. SoundCloud, iTunes, Simplecast. Just Google Salty Chip Show, SAWLTYCHIPS show, and then you figure the rest out. So for my return show, everybody knows that I am a female athlete connoisseur. I learned that from my dad. My dad loves women's athletics. He taught us, me and my three older brothers, to appreciate the artistry that is women's athletics. And it brings me so much joy to talk about women's wrestling. People who follow the show, people who remember us from Shattered Glass Cast, know we love women's wrestling, and we love the athleticism and the sacrifice that goes into all the events that they do. And let me just tell you, it's not because I'm a sponsor, but my first show back, I wanted to talk about this weekend's Battle Club Pro event in Bergen, at 106 Bergen Avenue, Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. Battle Club Pro, May the Queen Reign, with the main event of Mia Yim versus Tessa Blanchard, sponsored by the Salty Chip Show. I just wanted to welcome one of the co-owners of Battle Club, a man who I respect infinitely, a jack of all trades in professional wrestling in the Northeast, Mr. Joakim Morales. Joakim, welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for the introduction. That was pretty awesome. Yeah, man, I'm super excited, and I can say I'm honored to have you on as a sponsor, but more than that, I'm honored to have you on as someone who legitimately loves what we do as a brand, man. Like that's major. Like, you know, buying the ticket, being a sponsor is incredible, but like you bought tickets to shows, like coming and showing that support as a fan solely, like that can never be repaid, man.
Right. And you know that, and Carlos, who's also the other co-owner, is just, I've always been in contact with you guys, you know, working with Hokai and just trying to get the brand of Battle Club out there, because I've been waxing poetic everywhere I go. When I go cover shows in the Midwest or in St. Louis or in LA, I'm making sure people know that the Northeast is coming. You know, a lot of people are kind of down in the Northeast in the wrestling scene, but I tell people all the time, I reference that one show in the Bronx where there was that raccoon that looked like it was like Brock Lesnar on steroid raccoon. You know what I mean? So, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep. I walked by that big beast when I went to go see my homeboys.
Exactly. And let me give a little backstory for anyone who's listened to all of my shows. I always talk about this show, this one instance where we're all waiting in line to get into a Battle Club show. And there is this raccoon, not a rat, an actual raccoon. And if you know New York City, you know the rats are almost like raccoons. But this raccoon walked down the block like he owned the place. You never see that with like rodents, you know, infestations. But this raccoon is a legend. You know, so the raccoon that acted like he owned the place walking down the block, and the empanadas, you know, and Team Flan.
Yes,
is one of the things that I put in all things beautiful with Battle Club Pro. So I want to ask you this. Let's start off with this. Battle Club's history. Where did that originate?
Oh man, it's funny. I've told this story a lot, and every time I tell it, I remember a different part of it. But this is the base. I've known Carlos for several years now, and we started off as Facebook friends. He went to high school with my cousin, who's also named Carlos. Seems to be a popular name in the Hispanic community.
That's my dad's name. So
there we go. So, you know, I started up a group for like people that I thought were real wrestling fans.
Yeah.
You know, 6-7 years ago, I was already tired of like complaining. Like, find something you enjoy about the product and talk about that. There's too much negativity in the world. So like, I started this group up, and I invited my cousin, and my cousin invited Carlos. And you know, a lot of really good wrestling debates, not real arguments, until in the midst of Punk's 434 reign, they set Ryback up as his competitor. And that's when Carlos and I started just bumping heads. Like, he hated Punk, And at the time, I just couldn't see Ryback as a contender. I thought it was way too quick. So we would just argue. I mean, like crazy. And you know, I don't want to get too into Carlos' personal life, but he's a religious man. So for me to aggravate him enough, or for the television product to aggravate him enough, where we would just go back and forth, just killing each other over wrestling, was hysterical. Like, if, in hindsight, it's hysterical. At the moment, I wanted to rip his head off. But as that feud kind of went off, he started seeing what I was preaching about Punk. Anyone who knows me knows Punk is my all-time favorite. Like, I'll never forget watching TNA on the hot box. If you're not from New York, you don't know what that's about.
I know what that is.
So on the hot box, seeing TNA, and I saw Punk with Julio De Niro, and I was like, that kid's got it. Like, I was just boom, immediately fell in love with the guy. And then I just went back and I tried to see as much of his IWA stuff and whatever indie stuff he did. And I followed him immensely. I mean, to the point where, like, I wouldn't say super fan, but to the point where, like, his first television appearance was for ECW at the Hammerstein Ballroom. I was there. I was there for his match against Undertaker. I was there for the first night of 434. You know, like, he's had it's been a weird thing. Like, his last match in WWE might not be his last match of all time, but, you know, his last match of his run came at the end of the funeral services for my uncle. So it was just like Punk's just there. Punk's always been my guy. Punk will always be my guy. You know, everyone can have their opinion on him, but that's my guy. So, like, you know, he started turning, and then I started seeing progression in Ryback. So, like, now we started getting along. Carlos has done production in independent wrestling for years and years now. And he hit me up. He's like, hey, I'm starting a wrestling company, and I want you to be on commentary. I was, you know, I'm a guy who says yes to anything. Like, yeah, I'll do it. Like, you know, if I suck at it, then I tried, and it's the same as not doing it, but at least I tried. So I was like, yes, and it was we just kind of went silent for a bit, and a few months passed by, and I worked at a charter school at the time, so I was like doing document work or whatever, and shredding some documents and filing some documents, and I just thought to myself, why do I only want to be his commentator? Like, I could do more. I know I can do more. I feel like I can do more. So I hit him up. I was like, dude, if you need anything, I'm down. Like, whatever you need, like, I want to be your partner. Like, I want to co-own this. Like, I know it's your baby, but I feel like I can add to it. So he was like, all right, well, you know what? Meet me in the Bronx. We're going to promote with flyers. You got it. Did that. Met him face-to-face finally. Met one of his closest friends face-to-face. And we handed out as many flyers as we could before the cops, they kicked us out because we were doing it at a block party. Like, yeah, you can't really do that here. And then it just, you know, snowballed from there. He was like, hey, I need a cameraman for this Tier 1 event I'm recording. Have you ever done camera work? I was like, yeah, I've done some camera work for the school, whatever. Like, I'll give it a shot. And then it just went from there. From me being, you know, working hard cam with him, which has led to me doing, you know, ringside work with him and hard cam work with other companies. Like, I've branched out away from him working with companies. So, like, that was really awesome. I thought I only had video gigs with him, and then I started getting them without him. But, like, it went from that to, you know, we had the first show, and the main event for that show was always supposed to be Chris Dickinson versus Anthony Bones. And then something happened with Dickinson and he couldn't make it. Mm-hmm. So Carlos asked me, he's like, hey, what's a good replacement for Dickinson? And Tony Nese's name came up. Mm-hmm. I was like, that'd be great, but isn't he in WWE? So, like, we talked, we figured it out, and boom, we had Tony Nese. And then, like, every show afterwards, it was like, hey, where's your creative input? What can you do here? And then, like, boom, I would work here. I'd help out. And then really the show that, like, to me solidified that I earned the position was the show in Brooklyn. Like, we were supposed to do an outdoor show.
I remember.
Yeah, we were supposed to do an outdoor show. The rain wouldn't let us, even though it didn't rain till after the damn event, but whatever. I found a replacement building last minute, which happened to be my old junior high school. Like, it was crazy. Like, hey, boom, I did this. This is my neighborhood. I brought professional wrestling to my neighborhood. Holy crap. Like, I came through clutch with him. And So November rolls around and it was about 50-50 in terms of creative control. And he said, I was going to announce you before this show as my partner, but let's get through this show. And then it happened. And that's when he had like announced it. So then as like a Christmas gift, he was like, yo, dude, this show in March, that's all you. Like, he was like, you take care of that. And boom, there it is. Like, that's how it, a lot of sweat equity, putting miles on my car, you know, just paying the dues and being there whenever he absolutely needed. In any business you're ever in, you need two things. You need the desire to succeed and availability. You can't do either if one of those things are gone.
Right.
So like that's how it happened, and you know, like I love it. I love the product, and I tell him you can ask him at any given moment. I'll just send him a text where I say I love you, thank you for everything, and he tells me to shut the fuck up. But like that, you know, you can't stop being humble. Once humility's gone, like the desire to be successful leads with it. So like, I'm all about it.
And I can attest to it as someone who's been to the vast majority of all the Battle Club events, the product. I go on these shows, I go on these airways, you know, even with New Age Insiders, I talk about Battle Club all the time, and the product just keeps getting better and better and better. And I can attest to the March show. You know, myself, Melissa Foss, who everyone knows, you know, that fight, the street fight between LAX against the Carnies and Darius Carter. You hear Melissa on the video screaming, you know, and then David Bixban is in front of her or behind her, and he's like, "Who is that lady screaming?" And during that street fight, all you hear is her high-pitched scream about the street fight. And I'm thinking, during that fight, when I think it was Santana pile drove.
Yes, and he's just the greatest gift. I mean, listen, if that doesn't end up being one of like 2018's greatest gifts for the year, then the internet's broken, because it doesn't get any better. The pile driver, hands behind the head looks, and just all the swag in the world. Like, yeah, this is what I do. Oh my God, I love that.
I love that. You know, I love that photo. And the funny part is, I was telling somebody about the chair, because those are the if anyone knows and grew up in New York City, those are like the resource room chairs at HRA, you know, like the welfare office. So I laugh because Darius is the rich guy, and he just got pile drove
on a welfare chair. Yep.
Oh, that was not lost on me. And that's what I love. It's little things like that. So when I tell everybody to come out, honestly, come out this Saturday, 106 Bergen Avenue, Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. May the Queen reign. Battle Club Pro. Tickets are available at the door. You can find Battle Club at X Battle Club Pro through all your social media. But I want to fast forward to Saturday. How did Saturday come into fruition?
Carlos and I are in the truck moving the ring, and we're just spitballing goals. Like, hey, let's, you know, where can we be different when it comes to crowning a champion? Right. So then the long-term tournament, which, you know, we're in the midst of. Trip Cassidy's qualified. Matt McIntosh is the first to qualify in that great four-way match. You know, Darius ends up qualifying with that victory in that six-man tag. So like, there's qualifiers, and we're gonna draw it out a bit. But it was spitballing ideas. Man, you know what would be different? Our first champion that we crown should be for the women's title. Oh man, you know what would be great? An all-women's show. Dude, you know what would be awesome? A show in Connecticut. And it's just like, boom, 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 boom. All these things are happening. So it's like just spitballing ideas to be different. And yeah, a lot of companies give the women the credit they deserve with running, you know, their own sort of all-women show. But like, I want, it got to a point where Carlos and I looked at each other and was like, we should just run the women's show. Like, because I mean, I feel like the creative process is still kind of in its infancy. It's like, people throw a women's show together and they're amazing, but you know, half the time there's nothing else behind it besides it being an all-women's show. And it's like, no, we want to think this out. We want to plan this out. We want to plant seeds. We want people to come back. We want people to realize that there's history and for them to invest in it. So it's like, we've never done back-to-back shows. we're doing 3 shows back to back. We're going back to back to back with May, June, and July.
Right.
And 2 of them are women's show. 1 is in Connecticut, and then we're gonna come back to the Bronx in July. So it's like all these goals that we set, just spitballing in that truck, have come true, and it's not even half the year yet. So it's like it's incredible, man, and it's just, it speaks to Carlos and I. We work really well together in this sense that like we're very different, but we have a lot of similar ideas. But then when we contrast, we both can work amicably to a good halfway point.
Right.
And sometimes I feel like when there's too many hands in the pot, egos start to like jump up. And we just want to avoid that. We don't need that. I feel like it becomes nonsensical. Like if you're doing your best for the product, then there should be no egos.
Especially if you're passionate about something, that
right.
would be, that's paramount. Like you said earlier, desire and availability. That's the 2 things you need in order for you to progress in what you're trying to get accomplished. So you guys are spitballing. You and Carlos have the idea to run an all-woman show. Explain the process from conception of the idea to carrying out the book, getting the talent, procurement. Just walk me through for someone who doesn't know the ins and outs of booking a show or putting a show together. Because some people just think you call talent, you pay them, and that's a wrap. Walk people through a typical setup from beginning to end of a show, from its infancy toward its completion.
Every show is different. For this show specifically, what we wanted to do was find a weekend where we felt was neglected. And especially on the independent scenes, like holiday weekends tend to be like, oh, whatever, we're just going to toss on the side, we'll wait. So it's like, well, nobody's doing anything Memorial Day weekend.
Right. Especially
on Memorial Day. Let's take advantage of that. And then we realized like some of the costs might be higher because it's a holiday weekend, but it was a risk we were willing to take, because we legitimately have 9, maybe 10 headliners on this one card.
Yeah.
So it's like we can do this. We can take advantage of the fact that people won't be running. So boom, let's grab the talent. And then, I told this story on another interview, but after the March show, it's me, Hawkeye, and Carlos in a diner in the Bronx, 3:00 in the morning, and we're with Soo Young.
I know this story.
Who's still in face paint. She's still in face paint, and we're just eating food, and we're talking, and she's one of the deepest, most intellectual people on the planet, and it's incredible. And she just happened to look over at me and Carlos. She's like, I want to fucking fight Diamante. And it's like, okay, we're gonna make it happen. We looked at each other. All right, we're gonna make it happen. Let's do it. So that's how that match came about. And then like I tell people, I work 3 jobs, and then there's everything else I do in wrestling. So like, people always ask, where are you, and why? Whenever I see you, why are you so tired? So it's like, because I'm watching things. I'm trying to like, oh, this would be a good match. This person has a great look. Oh, let me put this person against that person. So like I'm constantly doing that. And what's crazy is I feel like I should be doing that more. And it's like when I'm not doing that, I'm talking to Carlos about shows or matches or angles or spots. And it's like when I'm not talking to him, I'm talking to my other partner over at Innovative Pro for the same reasons, or graphics. Like I'm talking graphics with Chris Beckett. How can this look better? Or, man, what do we do here? Like, so constantly, like I'm literally like, I'll be on dates, and I'll be like, hold on, please, look, it's business, and then like 30 minutes goes by, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, like I got lost, and for the most part, the company I've had lately has been very understanding, but like, yeah, dude, it's wrestling all the time, and if it's not Carlos or my, the anonymous owner at Innovative or Chris Beckett, it's workers I'm talking to, which is, to me, like, so crazy. And then, like, everyone wants to get their stuff in and get over, so workers be like, hey, I kind of want this match. And then, like, if it's, I'll be like, all right, well, we'll see. Maybe it might happen, maybe not. And if they hit me with something, I'm like, yeah, that's dope. I'm going to make that happen. And, there's more than enough workers that will attest to saying they asked for a match, and I was like, I got you, homie. And it's good. It has happened, or it's going to happen shortly.
Right.
So like that's been the process with this show. Is like, hey, this person is gonna be debuting, but this person's gonna be debuting, and I'll ask the talent that I've got a better relationship with. How do you feel about working this person? Oh, I wouldn't mind, or definitely let's do it. Or hey, can I work this person? All right, then let's make that happen. Like, I feel like Carlos and I do our best to put a great product on for the fans, but put a product on that the workers themselves will be like, yo, I'm invested. This is not just another match. So that's been, taking advantage of the fact that Memorial Day weekend seems to be kind of dead. Playing off the fact that last year we had May the Villain reign when the new Crusade for Change came together with Darius Carter and the Cardinals. Like, that was a twist no one saw coming.
Right.
So playing off of that, the all women's angle, and it's like, well, if we're gonna do an all women's show, it should be big. Let's crown a champion that night. And I mean, dude, like, everyone gloats about their title, but like ours is gorgeous.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah, I can.
The whole title or just that snippet?
Oh, the snippet.
No. When, dude, the title is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, man. Like, when you see it, and it's incredible. And like, there's like Easter eggs in movies.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of Easter eggs there, and both Easter eggs that are on that represent Carlos and myself personally.
Interesting.
And it's just like, oh my God, so beautiful. I can't wait to unveil it, and all the VIP fans that will get their pictures taken with it, with whatever talent they want. Like, it's a total steal, honestly, for what you guys paid.
I mean, I can attest again, like, you know me by now, so I can attest to the fact that if you're telling me it's going to be awesome, it's going to, hold on. While we're on air.
Stay quiet. Stay quiet about it. Just look.
Really? Is this all? Yeah. Okay. All right. I see what you're talking about now. That is amazing.
Zoom in on the middle. Tell me what you see.
What, the icon's word?
No. To the left and right. What does that look like?
Is that the bridge?
No. There's a bridge there. That's for me. There's something else there, though. Pennants. What building in the Bronx has a ton of pennants on it?
Oh, are you serious? Is that Yankee Stadium?
Shh. No, it's not Yankee Stadium. It's not.
It's actually Citi Field.
Yeah, there you go.
Citi Field. And I'm a Mets fan, so I'm going to say it's Citi Field.
Gorgeous, right?
That's beautiful, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Keep
gorgeous.
that to yourself.
I'm gonna delete it right now so I don't get But
yeah,
okay.
So that's been the process with this one, man. It was being advantageous of the time, the availability of talent, and the card. Like, it just came together. Like, I mean, you saw Harlow faced off against Willow, and the winner, like, we tied them into each other. Like, the winner's gonna face the winner of the main event, and Jessica, she just happened to be out there. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, we might need more security because these chicks are gonna rip each other's faces off.
Right.
Because Harlow might be a little, but she's feisty as all hell, man.
I just saw Harlow a couple weeks ago in Tennessee at the Making Towns Classic, so I can attest.
Yeah.
She's small but mighty.
Mighty. That's like a Mighty Mouse. I'm gonna call her Mighty Mouse from now on. Right now.
I mean, honestly, guys, you're listening to the Salty Chip Show. Damien Salty G. Find me on Twitter at DamienG347. Battle Club Pro, May the Queen Reign, 106 Bergen Avenue, Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. Tickets available at the door this Saturday. Talking with one of the owners of Battle Club Pro, Joakim Morales. So
perfect pronunciation, man. A lot of people butcher it, man. A lot of people. I've gotten Joakim. I've gotten Joaquin. I hate Joaquin. It's not the Hispanic version of.
You can look at the spelling and know it's not. Okay.
Yeah, I tell people that all the time, man. You know, it's funny, if you have an iPhone and you tell them to call Joakim Morales, it'll say calling Joaquim Morales. It's like, no, that's not the spelling. Like, why are you
not the spelling? I am not Joaquin Phoenix. Like, no.
Yeah. So
I'm excited. I know a lot of people are excited. I I'm excited to see Mia versus Tessa just because they are two of the top best, regardless of male, female, does not matter. Two of the best wrestlers on the planet. And the fact that they're the main event for me speaks volumes about how much Battle Club Pro wants to give to their fans. So I would like to know from your perspective, as how do you feel in terms of this event? Like, are you feeling like a proud dad? Like, what's the emotion going through your head about this?
Well, the Mia and Tessa thing is something else that Carlos and I brought up to each other about a year ago. Like,
okay.
So like to have it on this card for the first time, to have it thought of that far back, and then first time ever one-on-one, like it survived. Like no one else grabbed it. You know, there's got to be like 400 or 500 promotions running in America. No one else decided to do it. So like, holy crap, you know, we're gonna do it. And I'll definitely, it's more of a. This match is definitely more on Carlos. The credit's due there.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, yeah, like a proud dad, man. It's just like, holy Jesus, like, and then they're like, they're both incredible wrestlers.
Yes.
But like personality wise, they seem different. You know, it's like, is Tessa like she's second generation? Did she really get everything handed to her, or did she work even harder because she didn't want that stigma of things being handed to her?
Right.
And then you've got Mia, who came up and earned, and like definitely visibly earned everything. And had all the rough times and the injury. So it's like they're different. And huge shout out to our artist Josh, because did you see those pieces he did for them?
I did.
Oh my God. Like Mia as the Black Panther and Tessa as Captain Marvel. It's gorgeous. So gorgeous. Those will be on sale if you guys are interested in art. Those will be on sale for on Saturday.
Okay. Wow. I mean, I want to say I'm not surprised that this is something that's happening, but I'm still humbled to know that this is happening, and the fact that I'm able to talk about it and passionately implore people to, because some people see women's wrestling and they automatically don't want to give it a chance for whatever reason. But I can guarantee you, I will put my broadcasting career on the line and tell people, if this event does not knock your socks off, then I don't know what to do with you. Like we were talking earlier about nitpicky fans, people that don't they find something to complain about. Top to bottom, the talent on this card. This is one of those super cards that people talk about. Like, oh, they think only like ROH could pull this off, or one of the bigger companies, that has the money. WWN springs to mind, or even beyond WWR. Dude, and I don't say dude because I'm a professional, but men, women, children, come see this event. You need to come see this event, because if you don't, you're going to miss something. Because I've missed one Battle Club show in my life and I regretted it.
Which one was that?
The one after the show in Brooklyn, the one right after.
Oh, the November one, the
yes.
JC and Matt Cross?
Yes, because I actually I think I was in Wrestle Circus that weekend, covering Wrestle Circus.
Well, I mean, I don't know. That was Circus card was awesome.
Yeah. So, and I apologize to Nick Iggy. Big shout out to the Carnies. I love those guys.
Yeah.
I had told them, like, dude, I know I'm supposed to be here, but I kind of got to go cover something else. And he gets mad at me. Like, oh, whatever, dude. I don't want to talk to you anymore. But shout out to the Carnies. Like, they're another bunch of dudes that
should be named one of the top 10 tag teams in the country in Paste magazine is massive. And then awesome. And then what's crazy is, since that article, I mean, so it's one of those situations I can neither confirm nor deny, but since the Carney's names has been in that magazine for that article, mm-hmm. I feel like Paste is everywhere. Like, I've heard them on ESPN countless amount of times since that article dropped. So it's like, hey, maybe the Carney's gave them the old rub, and they've gotten themselves over. But man, like, that was huge for them. And, right. and conversely, like, Pace, it's just been like, it's been getting so up there. So like, people have definitely seen it. So like, to know that the Carnies are as regularly associated with Battle Club as possible is just incredible, man. Because those guys are amazing.
Yeah. And if you haven't seen the Carnies wrestle, you're doing yourself a disservice by not watching them. So take it from me, take it from all of us. Just give yourself a YouTube shot to go
Yeah,
watch the Carnies work, man. Like
yeah,
honestly.
Battle Club Pro, YouTube or Title Match Wrestling, whatever, like wherever stuff is, the carnies are there. Just gotta
Oh,
look.
you actually just took my next question out of my mouth. I was going to say, where can people watch the archives of shows they've missed?
YouTube, battleclubpro.com.
Mhm.
Title Match Wrestling is a constant sponsor of ours, so like you could totally get on there and watch their stuff. We do our best to give content at the cheapest or freest possible, but
Right.
sometimes you gotta shell out a little bit, and as a co-owner, like it's worth it. Like it's worth it, and I'm not saying this because I paid for it. Like I'm saying this as a professional wrestling fan. Like it is worth it.
Oh, without question. I mean, if you miss a show, at least you have the option. Because look at the years we have now, where we can miss a show, go back and watch something we've missed via YouTube or streaming service, whatever, and then you can catch up. So it's one of those things where you have no excuse to not watch it.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean? If you're gonna veg out for a couple hours doing a Netflix and wrestle, you might as well go back. And, well, some people like to Netflix and wrestle. I know that's a different subject for another day, but go ahead, do yourself a favor, just watch as many Battle Club Pro shows as you possibly can. And big shout out to Anthony Bowens, because that
Oh
dude,
my god.
you know how much I appreciate his work, because people think I've seen him at Tier 1, a couple of other shows, and he's just an amazing guy, man. Like just
So good.
so good in the ring, real smooth, just and passionate, and that comes off naturally. You
If
can't
if
fake that.
if it's not already relevant, like so, this next show is going to be the first time where Anthony Bowens, Matt McIntosh,
Yeah.
Federated, and Darius Carter won't be on the card because it's an all show. So, but if it's not already totally obvious, those are the pillars that this company's is built on, and because those guys are amazing in every way, shape, or form. So once we get to our next co-ed show, which is in July, they're gonna come back, and they're gonna come back hard, because you got back-to-back women's shows, so you got something to prove, guys, and they're gonna do their best to prove it.
They gotta step their game up, because if the next two shows do exactly what I think they're gonna do, it's got a little bit of catching up to do. Just saying. I want to ask you, since you are a CM Punk fan and since you are a big fan of wrestling in general, what are some of your favorite wrestling moments?
Ooh, moments. See, I like moments because you can delineate from the matchup, and you can just pull out what you really, really love.
Right.
I was there for Seth's cash-in. I was there live, which is amazing. Like, good God, that cash-in moment, that crowd in Santa Clara went berserk. The same for when Punk won the first day of 434 when he beat Del Rio. The crowd going nuts for Zack Ryder. Like, we want Ryder when he was super, super hot. I was at WrestleMania 20 when Benoit and Guerrero celebrated.
Right.
Man, just so many like moments. Sting coming out, like chills. Like the reason I went to that WrestleMania is because like Sting is in the WWE. I have to see his match. I don't care what it costs me. Like I'm a huge Sting fan. So like just that's a great question. A lot of people are like, what's your favorite match? And it's like there's billions to choose from.
Right.
But moments is good. You can just I like this moment, that moment. Little things like watching old school Undertaker matches where he wouldn't get the waistlock grip on his tombstone. He would hook an arm. Yes. I always thought that was so cool. Like I always thought it made it look more devastating that he hooked an arm and dropped you down. Anytime I would watch a ECW or WCW show with Raven, his
I love
flow
Raven.
DDT, yeah. Man, that even flow DDT, so great, man. Anything NWO related, just tiny things, man. Moments. That's an excellent question, man. Bravo.
I say that because moments are based on the person. Like everyone can go to like one match, two match, three matches, or whatever. But it's a feeling. Like I recounted the street fight. Like for me, that street fight resonated with me just because that whole thing was bedlam. And I loved it. I loved every moment of it, from everyone screaming to people, getting out of the way, and just the energy, the frenetic energy that was there for that match. That will always speak to me.
You know how hard that was to keep up with on commentary?
I know.
I'm like, what do I call? What do I call? Everything's everywhere.
And then you got to be professional and you can't cuss. So it's like,
wait. I've had students come up to me and they're like, you cursed a couple times. Like, yeah, I cursed a couple times. Oh, and your boss said he's gonna find you. He's like, well, I'm his boss. He can't really find me. But
yeah.
But yeah, it's just sometimes you can't. Sometimes there is no other word but like F-bomb, S-bomb, whatever. It's got to slip out. But yeah, you try your best to keep it family friendly and family oriented, man. But yeah, it was so fun to call, and it's like I wanted to kind of sit the same way with the main event for that show. It's like I kind of just want to sit back and watch, but I know I can't because in the fans are like, well, what's going on? Like we're used to hearing commentary.
By the way, when that match with Sue and Jess Havoc, that the chair spots and just the violence, and we've talked about Sue before, and Jessica Havoc also is phenomenal, but I had never seen them wrestle before. So for me, because I've seen Sue wrestle a lot, I've seen Jess wrestle a lot, it was like a dream match for me. Like I felt like a kid in the candy store following it, and I'm supposed to be professional because I'm writing notes and I have to keep tabs for the show. But I'm over here, and you can ask around, like you ask Hokai. I'm over here like and doing the whole like the Friday point, like you got knocked the F out, and I do that a lot at shows. Like people know when I'm into an event, and I do that. They know I'm locked in, and whenever I go back and I think about that match, and then the ref spot with the mist. And that
like 20 seconds in, it's like ring the bell. Oh, Steve's dead.
And he's out the whole match.
You guys killed Steve, you bastards.
Steve needs to stop getting hit by the mist. I feel like he falls for that a little bit too much. But let me ask you, that's actually a good, funny question to ask. What's the difference between the red, the green, and any other colored mists? Like, is there like a hierarchy of the Muda mist that we don't know about?
The only thing I can confirm is that Muda's is probably the most lethal.
Yes.
But I want to say it's like hot sauce. Like it doesn't matter the color of hot sauce. It's red, green, blue, purple. Like it's going to burn like hell. The Scoville level is off the charts.
And we killed Steve because essentially we killed Steve.
Steve was dead.
We still haven't seen Steve. Like I saw him briefly. I thought I saw Steve briefly at an HOG show, but that might have been a facsimile. I don't know.
I know. I think his ghost is still reffing. Like that's how hardcore he is. His ghost is reffing shows.
Ghost ref. You don't got to pay him. At least he's dead already. You don't got to pay him.
There you go. You just pray to him enough, right?
So, who haven't you gotten for Battle Club that you're looking forward to seeing in the future work with Battle Club?
I was asked this last night. I did the Jobbers Tier podcast, who's another sponsor. Shout out to them. You guys should link up, get together. I know you're betting on yourself, so if you want to do this Northeast stuff, you got to get as much of it done as possible before you leave.
Of course.
But if anyone can get this out before they're contracted to NXT or WWE, like I want Tony Storm.
Yes.
I want Travis Banks. Like,
okay.
I'm gonna make it happen. I don't know how. I don't know when. I'm gonna make it happen.
Look, I've seen Tony and Travis. I have the subscription. To Progress or Progress, depending on how you want to say it. They are phenomenal talents. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if and when you guys procure them before they get signed. Wink, wink, nod, nod, hint, hint.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, this show coming up, guys, like just go, okay? Battle Club Pro, May the Queen Reign this Saturday, 106 Bergen Avenue, Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. Tickets available at the door. You can follow Battle Club at X Battle Club Pro on all your social media. Damien Salty G from the Salty Chip Show. You can find me on Twitter at DamienG347 as well as Instagram. I have an Instagram now, so my old man self has an Instagram. So you can follow me there. And I just want to, again, I'm not done yet, but I just want to thank Joakim for being a part or allowing me to be a part of this because it is so special and it is so just stupendous on all levels that people need to come out. And I know Jersey's not the best place for people to come to, especially if you're from the New York area and you don't drive and you have to rely on mass transit, but it's worth it because they're coming back to the Bronx eventually. I know it's okay. And the funny part is your event in July is 2 days before I moved to Texas.
Did you have to move to Texas? On the like, is it set? Like you can't postpone 2 days?
Oh no, I'm moving, but it's 2 days after the event, so I can go to the event.
Okay. I misheard. Yeah, perfect. That's perfect. Oh, I mean, I don't know if you've picked up on it, but like, so we're gonna have this show Saturday, and there's gonna be another show the day after.
On Sunday.
Yeah, my weekends are gonna be pretty much shot from here on out. Like, because July 22nd, I've got a lot in store for all you Innovative Pro fans. So you might want to catch that one too, man. We can talk details after Sunday because I'm gonna drop some bombs that day as well.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be there, and I'm more than likely I was going to go cover a different event, but you know what? I figure I'll stay in the neighborhood, stay the night, go cover that too. So that's IPW, correct?
Yes, Innovative Pro Wrestling. We're trying to go Innovative Pro, and trying to keep it Battle Club, trying to simplify it. I feel like it rolls off the tongue better. I think it's already implied that it's wrestling, so there's no need to say it. But that is the Battle Club Pro and then Innovative Pro Wrestling. But yes, so July 22nd, we're gonna be running Innovative Pro.
Okay, that's my father's birthday.
Well, yeah, bring him out, man. I will buy him food.
Get him some empanadas. My dad will be he'll be.
There you go, and a Corona. I'll sneak him in a Corona.
Yeah, you're not a New York Latino if you haven't drank one Corona, right?
Exactly.
That's a prerequisite. So before I let you go, I just want to bounce a couple of word associations with you, okay?
All right.
So when I say this name, you give me the first thing that pops in your head. Pretty simple, right?
Okay.
Cool. Mia Yim.
Amazing.
Su Young.
Scary.
Hokai.
One word won't do it justice. That
Then
guy.
give me 5.
He is my road wife. We do the drive. We do the drives together. But man,
I love
one of those people. I tweeted out a couple of days ago when this is all said and done, and I'm dead and buried. The relationships that I've gotten from working in this business is what's going to be most important. And he's definitely a prime example of that.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he hates praise.
He does.
He despises praise.
He does, and that's the best thing about it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like everybody who despises praise is good to work with because they'll stay humble about stuff.
Yeah.
And they'll work harder.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, Hokai is like the gift god, if that's what you want to call him. He's like the gift guru. So if you're having an event, go contact that boy. Go contact that man and get him paid because he loves wrestling and he loves being there to support independent wrestling. And he's one of the hardest working men in all walks of life.
And just to piggyback off of that, he's one of the people who took something that was a concept outside of wrestling and he incorporated it into wrestling. He's someone who found a medium that was untapped and made it something that needs to be a part of your show.
Right.
That's incredible. Like in a sport where almost nothing is original, he came in original, and now we're seeing all these people doing what he does. But he's recognized as the originator. He might not very well be, but he's the best at it.
Definitely.
Naismith created basketball. When I say basketball, you think Jordan.
Damn, that's the best. You heard that, Hokai? I know you're going to be listening eventually. So you are the Michael Jordan
of the gift game, of the wrestling gift game.
No, you got it on lock, and no one better than you. That's that. So two more names for you. Vince McMahon.
God.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Go.
All right, one more. Why not? Battle Club Pro.
New York City.
You heard it. You heard it from one of the owners, one of the co-owners of Battle Club Pro, Joakim Morales.
That's the goal. That's the goal, man. When people say New York City and they're talking wrestling, I want Battle Club Pro to be the first name to come out their mouth.
And if someone is on the fence about coming out to make a clean reign, what would you say personally to try to entice them to come out?
I'm gonna say we have 7 qualifying matchups to determine a champion. That champion will be determined in a gauntlet style match. We've got a match that's many years in the making between a second generation superstar and Tessa Blanchard and one of the hardest working wrestlers in the world coming off injury in Mia Yim. I've got Jessica Havoc, Su Young, Diamante. Levy Bates is our special guest commissioner, and she, like with my position in Innovative Pro, it's not just for namesake. I gave her some pull, and she's got some punches to throw. I mean, Kiera Hogan, Impact star, Willow Nightingale, NYWC Starling champion. Harlow O'Hara is the first person that's come from the South with relatively zero buzz and has gotten over. She had one match. She had one match, and New York fell in love with her. New York fell in love with her.
It was her match against Willow Nightingale, right?
Yeah, and it's just the crowd. And I really think it was the fact that she walked up to someone who calls themselves and has been called by thousands of people a death machine, and she stared death in the face and said, "Let's go."
Dang.
Like, you know, Karen Q, Savannah Evans, Tasha Steele, Helen Vale, Azali. Like, the talent goes on forever. It really does, man. And you know, I do my best not to toot my own horn. And you know, like whenever I talk to someone about the business, and they're like, "Oh man, you're this," and I'll tell them quick, "I'm nothing. I'm nothing. All I want to see is my product and the people I believe deserve a shot succeed." And man, just everything. Like this card was one of the most fun to put together. And even as someone who's used British Strong Style, I think this is our biggest show to date.
You know what? You're absolutely right, because I was at the British Strong Style show, and the buzz that this one's generating, and plus I saw the title, which is called the Icons title, correct?
Yes. You know, doing the flyer work, like promoting old school style. Carlos and I was like, "Yo, they need something. We need something to set these women apart." And I just started thinking about the names that we were gonna have. So I'm like, intense, courageous, outspoken, notorious, superb, icons. I just spelled it out by accident. Just thinking of words to define these women. That's what they are, because that's what they deserve to be. Like, these women deserve that praise because they kill themselves in that ring to be as good and even better than the boys.
I was going to say even better, because I don't know if you guys have been paying attention throughout the country, but women's wrestling, calling it on fire is a misnomer.
Yeah.
Dominating.
But it's not just wrestling though, it's women's sports. Like, I've coached basketball for the last 5 years, the 3 years with the charter school, and I'm privileged to say I'm a paraprofessional dean in District 75 for the Department of Education. And now I'm coaching in the Special Olympics, and we're in qualifiers. And I tell the boys all the time, we're going to watch film of the girls. The girls play the game the right way. The guys nowadays in the NBA, all they want to do is jack up threes and play no defense. No, we're going to watch the girls. And when my guys watch the girls, when my guys watch these women athletes, these superstars, they're like, holy shit, I didn't see that pass. Oh my God, look at the effect that pick had. Oh, look at the roll. Look at that defense. That's shut down, lock them up defense. You want to see something done right, watch a woman do.
You know what? You're absolutely right. And that's exactly what my dad instilled in me while watching sports and growing up watching sports and women's athletics in general. Like, watch it done right. Watch it done with no ego, the proper way. And it's no disrespect to the male athletes in the world.
Not at all.
But there's something special about watching women athletes dominate and making it look good and easy. Like when I say make it look good, they make it look easy.
Yes. Yes.
Like they just rolled out of bed and they can hit 10 3-pointers from long distance,
Mhm.
you know, in softball, they can strike out 20 people. You know what I mean? Like in wrestling, they can do all the moves, if not better than the boys. So no complaints here. Zero. And if you got a problem with that, then you and I are going to fight. Like whoever's got a problem with women's wrestling, women's sports.
No, but that's the thing. If you got a problem with it, I mean, I've got 18 ladies in my locker room that'll shut you up. But now, wait, but before we go, man, who's your dark horse to be our first champion?
Wow. I actually want to say Harlow.
Yo, whenever I talk to someone about it, she's the name that comes up.
Yeah. Especially after I saw her this 2 weeks ago in Tennessee, dude. Like, she got over. I mean, like you said, she's been known in the South, but she got over so good in New York. And there was a guy next to me who knew her whole wrestling history. I had never seen her before. And I'm a Willow guy. I've always been a Willow fan. But watching them work together, I was thinking, this is magical. Like, I want to see them wrestle at least 5 more times because amazing.
Before we go, I know you're trying to wrap up, but I was doing commentary for Five Boroughs Wrestling, and I saw Willow, and I was like, oh man, I would love to have her. Then I went home. I've gotten really close to. They used to be the 13th floor, but all those guys from the 13th floor, Ike Cross, Chris Bullitt, who's now Conscious King Heru, Damian Bennett, and Trevor Eon. I was talking to Trevor Eon and just scrolling through his feed while talking to him. This is just something I do when I talk to workers to see if I missed anything, maybe congratulate him on it. And he had shared a photo of Carl. I saw that. I was like, oh my God, that's the match. That's the first women's match I'm going to put together. This was back in September. So this is 6 months before the match was booked. That's how my mind worked. Carlos is very step by step. I'm in 2020 already.
Yeah. So
like, and that's why we work really well, man. It's a system of checks and balances, man. We're just, I mean, yin and yang. It's just that perfect balance.
Like Thanos, perfectly balanced, like all things should be.
Like all things should be, but I mean, I got paid to see it today because I went with the school.
Nice.
For the fourth time, I saw it, and I was explaining it to one of the teachers, and she's like, "Oh, so he's not the bad guy." And I was like,
"Nope,
he's really not." But and then she goes, "Well, why didn't he just double everything?" And I was like, "Because if you double everything, there's still a finite amount of resources.
Mm-hmm.
But if you cut things in half, then effectively what there is double. But now people feel privileged to be alive."
Yes.
It's like I saw other people just go away. So now I'm not going to take life for granted. And they're going to flourish like they did with Gamora's Planet. And she was like, so he really wasn't the bad guy?
Nope, he wasn't the bad guy. So for people that complain that Thanos was the bad guy in Avengers, he's not. He's actually the good guy. But that's neither here nor there. Well, I seem to have lost Joakim. So I just want to wrap this up by saying Battle Club Pro, 106 Bergen Avenue, Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. Tickets are available at the door. Battle Club Pro, may the queen reign. Your boy Damien Salty G, or otherwise known as Damien G, on the Salty Chip Show. SoundCloud, iTunes, Simplecast, on behalf of the NAI Wrestling Network. Thank you so much, guys. It's good to be back. Hopefully Chip will be with me, but if not, I'll hold the fort down. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.